back towards Cedars TQ. 35 seconds to go, and Cervinski is going to fall off at TQ this lap around. Still going to try and put in the show, though. But it looks like Roger Dieter going to have the upper hand going into the show. Again, Cervinski leads by 6/10 here over Jason. Lisa's still 3/10 back of Jason, then Ben and Mike with 15 seconds to go. Cervinski won't TQ, but he's still trying to put it in the show. This would bump out Ryan Zari if he can finish with 10 seconds to go. Chad, Jason, Lisa, Ben, and Mike with 5 seconds left. You guys know what to do. Keep on running till we're called. Finish the big move up the grid. Going to try and beat Chad Cervinski. See if he can claim the win here as everybody's going to keep going till we're called done. And everybody is done. Shut him down. Chad Cervinski is going to go second place on the grid. What a clutch run. 45.01 with a 0. Going to go second place on the grid, up 7 positions.
So I guess the moral of this story in this video is too bad it didn't end the way that race ended. I'm Chad, this is the Dorky and 40RC channel. Welcome back, everybody. So we had a huge oval race this past weekend, part of the Hooter Chassis Outlaw Tour group. It's kind of like a local group around the Midwest here that goes around and has races at some of the bigger tracks. They had a race up at Norcar RC Raceway. In February, I'll be going back and having my revenge. First of all, I want to apologize to, I believe it was Jason in the main, and we'll talk about it here in the video. First of all, going to a big race, especially one like this where I knew I had a really competitive car, and I started off bad, it got really great, and then something just happened in the main. Everybody made adjustments, and I didn't think I had to because I had plenty of time on everybody, but it just wasn't meant to be. All day long, I was battling with my charger and the actual voltmeter at the freaking tech table. Now, I would make adjustments to my charger, and I always went up and got my batteries tested, and my first heat, my battery on my iCharger was saying it was like 4.22 something running 1S. I get up there and it's at like 4.18. So I'm literally like a half a volt below everybody. And in the spec 25.5 class, that's what we're running here. Just stock system. This is the OvalWorks Octane 2023. I'll put a video to it up here. This is like my favorite oval class that I'm running right now, so I can run with the crew. Which, by the way, if your crew is sucking that day, when you're at a race for 9, 10, 12 hours, and there's 26 heats, and you've got 2 hours in between your races, and nobody's having fun, that really like just takes the energy right out of you. They all bail because they don't make the mains. You're stuck there by yourself. Thank God the low-C NASCAR races were going on. Those were like the funnest part of the event. I mentioned it in my last low-C video, how I've been ranting and raving about how I don't see a lot of new racers that they talk about, at least locally, with that car. But it was great seeing all of the veteran racers having so much fun and enjoying themselves racing those low-C cars. And in fact, some of them were saying, damn, I didn't think I was going to have to put so much work into this thing. So first heat on the car, we won't talk about setup or none of that stuff. Let's just try to keep this fun and educational for your new racers. I already spoke about the battery. So I had been up the week before and I had teched my car with all the gauges and scales and everything up there. The only thing I didn't think about was to try the track voltmeter. I've raced there forever and I've been teched by that voltmeter hundreds of times. I have no idea why to this day it did not do what I needed to do. So I had to up my iCharger, and then I would have to run off a little bit of power on the car, which is a bad thing because you're building heat and resistance and everything else right before you go out and race. And, you know, that was kind of like a weird thing. It was fine in the second heat. In the first heat, I just didn't have any power at all. And then I go up for the main, and I actually ran it off in the pit because I already knew what it was going to do. I get up to the tech table and I run the battery down because it's over still. Then they put the leads on it and the battery voltage went up. I guess the heat or feedback or whatever. I have no idea. It really sucked. but obviously other people made changes to their car that made them better. And going in, I had like a hot lap of like a 504 something, and my average was like 5.2. Well, in the main, like my hot lap was a 5.2 and my averages were up. And as soon as we took off and I saw the first place guy going away from me, we'll show you here in the video, I knew something was going on right away. And then like the rest of the time, it was really just all about driving and survival, which honestly, I drove the car very, very good during the main, but except for the part where I knew I couldn't hold off the third place person like anymore, and I should have let him go, and he ran into me and I cost him and myself the race big time, like emotion beginner type of mistake that I made. And if he ever sees this video or anybody knows him that sees this, when I see him personally next time, hopefully in February, I will apologize and shake his hand and maybe buy him a beer for what I owe him. But anyway, let's get into checking out the actual races. You saw a beginning clip there of the actual second heat. After the first heat, I was 5th. I had fallen to like 9th or 10th because 2 heats in front of me were running faster. The first heat, again, the battery was down and I've ran tons of laps because I'd been up the week before. I knew what the car was going to do. And for some damn reason, the car decided to like loop out on me once, I believe, catching the ice or whatever, just completely sucked that it was a bad start. So I knew I had to like bring the heat, and it was an uphill battle. And that's what we did for the second heat. So looking back here at the times from that second heat, it was pretty close. I mean, my hot lap for sure, 5:02.8 versus a 5:172, a 5:135. I mean, we were all right there. And our top 15, you know, I thought I had a little bit more on everybody than I did, especially just looking at how I drove when I got, you know, like I said, the emotion was really high. The announcer just really had me fired up. I mean, quite honestly, I was like shaking up there. And you can just see in some of my laps, you know, running 5.5s, 5.4s, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's no wonder why the TQ slipped away from me. And when you look at the actual results of how close everything was when it comes to the end of the qualifying rounds here, if I can find this rankings, and we will look at the Sportsman truck, you can see that he had a 45.4 flat .403 and I had a 41.0. So literally I gave it away by, what is that, thousandths of a second. So just one more clean lap would have got everything in. But just looking at everybody's time, it really was pretty close, which is awesome because that's exactly what I wanted to be a part of with this sportsman class. The racing was really tight, and it comes down pretty much to you, because what I've learned is that, you know, you can only get so much out of this 25.5 motor. And obviously it's about making changes at the right time. We can do all the different things to the car, like making sure your setup is right and that you're lubed up and good to go and your batteries are peaked off. We've already talked about the battery issues, which are a huge problem, but obviously the track had changed a lot. I made a gearing change between 1 and 2. And I probably should have made a gearing change between the second qualifier and the main. And I should have got out there before the main, because there was about 15 to 20 minutes of like a 1.5 or 2 minute control practice where you could go out and run some laps. And that's basically what I should have done. So I really didn't look at these times good enough. So that's a lesson for you guys to actually look at all of the numbers and see how close everything is. Looking back at everything, as close as all of this is, I probably still, I don't know. I probably still would have just rolled with what I got and just see what would have happened, because it was competitive and it was right there. I was not expecting the fall off that I got. If we look at the final result qualifying and we look at the actual times, I mean, my fast lap was a 5.2 and my average was a 289 top 15. And I guess I'm kind of looking at like everybody else's again, and it's, you know, like my lap times were not horrible. Like I just don't understand where I lost the pop in the car. And I was really, really depending upon that. So, oh well, you live and you learn. We're definitely going to try something else the next time here. So you've already seen the end of the second race. We made it into the main. Now we'll show you the main video and you can see what I'm talking about and see the mistakes that I made and just see the driving error where my car just didn't have it and I should have let the other gentleman go. Congratulations to Roger and Lisa and Ben, Big Ben. Love you, man. So I'm glad that they all, you know, made it. And, you know, looking back at this, I mean, the racing was there. I've watched my video. My lines were there. They're just, the car just did not have that pop off the line. I came home, looked at it, everything checked out. The battery, even though I was whining earlier about the voltage, I didn't check it until the next day, but on my hobby wing, it still said that its lowest point was 4 volt. On my iCharger, it said it was resting at 411. So that's about the fall off, you know, and recharge after resting that I would expect to see. So in the end, I mean, maybe I should have like dropped a tooth on the spur because I went up a tooth for the second qualifier. Maybe that would have been something that would have made me a little bit more competitive. So let's take a look at that race right now.
Looking ugly.
Yeah. We don't turn very well.
So Nick's going to space him out a little bit. Thank you, sir.
But everybody's backwards except for mine.
The fans have started their cheers. 25-5 Sportsman Truck, A-Main.
I thought they all left.
The only thing I ask, guys, some of these starts have been a little bit quick. At least wait for me to finish saying pole. Delay just a little bit, please. Let's give it a nice fair shot. Everybody take a nice deep breath. First, A-Main of the night. 25-5 Sportsman Truck, A-Main. This is 4 minutes. Going live off the pole. And here we go, great start. Off we go with our A-Main. Little tap there from Mahannes that's going to give Rich one spot. Oh, and then he gives it right back. What a gentleman. Turn 1 is clear. Rich going to give him space. Thank you, sir. Here we go. Roger Dieter out in front, trying to take it home. He was your pole sitter. CHADWICK, Jason, Lisa, Ben, Mike, and Richard. Exactly how they started. How they're running. But a big battle for second. Cervinski trying to hold off a fierce competition here from Orr and Lisa. Lisa was your round 1 TQ. She's still in the hunt. Oh, wow. Orr had the inside look and they almost wrecked each other. Lisa saying, come on, guys, just clean each other out. Let me go get the leader. It's Roger lead by 1.2. Cervinski, Orr, Miller, Bishop, Mahannes, and Decker. 1 down, drivers and 3 to go. Look at this race for second. Inside move from Lisa. 2 for 1. Oh, what a pass. 2 for 1 from Lisa. Oh, and she taps. What a great job of driving right there. Holds on to it. Cervinski in the 3. Jason in the 4. Roger, all due respect, nobody cares about you right now. You're leading going away. The race is for second. Wow. Lisa with an awesome sequence of moves to get into that 2 spot. Cervinski 3, Orr in the 4, Bishop here 5, Mahannes and Rich with 1:30 on, 2:30 to go. Legends, you're up next. And these A-Mains are already being as advertised, putting on a show. Roger Dieter out in front in that red number 53, the former Glen truck. Awesome to see that thing run again. Pretty cool. Oh man, it's no, and Orr and Cervinski making contact, and Chad getting pushed to the wayside. Oh. It was so good for so long and went so bad so quick.
2 minutes left.
Now Lisa has a lot of breathing room to try and put pressure on your leader. Roger leads by 1.5 seconds. Can Lisa run him down? Pahanish into the third spot now. From 6th on the grid up to 3. Followed by Ben, Rich, Chad, and Jason. So Chad and Jason falling out of 2 and 3, falling down to 6 and 7. It's Dieter, Miller, Pahanish, Bishop, Rich, your top 5. Leader is out front by 1.3. Lisa making inroads with 2:30 gone, 1:30 to go. Can Lisa pull the huge upset here and beat Roger Dieter in his own game? It's Dieter and Miller spread by a second and a half. Pahanish 2 seconds back of Lisa. Followed by Ben, followed by Rich, Chad, and Jason. Top 4 on the lead lap. Everybody else is down 1 or more. Roger in that red 53, Lisa in that purple, white, and pink number 22. Pahanish running his white, blue. Oh, trouble there for Mike. That should move Bishop into 3. Yes, it does. Ben Bishop into the P3. Pahanish getting bumped around a little bit here, falling down to 5. That puts Rich into the 4 now. 45 seconds left to go. Roger, Lisa, and Ben, your top 3 all getting podium spots right now. Rich, Mike, Chad, and Jason with 40 seconds to go. Remember, guys, we're going to take a very brief picture of our podium finishers. So next race, hold up, checking in. With 30 seconds to go, Roger Dieter by 1.7 out in front of Lisa. Trying to nail it down here in the AMF Sportsman truck. Lisa with an awesome drive from 4th up to 2. Ben from 5 to 3. Rich from 7 to 4. The hard charger right now. Remember, Rich bumped from the B earlier. 15 seconds to go. Dieter, 1.6 out front, just trying to secure the win. Doesn't have to do anything crazy. Lisa still in front of Ben by 1.7 with 5 seconds left. White flags out for Roger Dieter. One more time around for your winner. Trying to get the job done here in Sportsman Truck. And when you cross this time, you're going to be done. Roger Dieter wins the A-Man 25.5. 46.05 by 1.4 seconds, winning over Lisa with an awesome drive for second.
Thank you.
Good job.
Bishop third, Decker fourth, Pahanish, Cervinski, and Jason Oyer your finishing order. Next race, hold your cards. Next race, hold your cards.
It's all good, dude.
Podium,
man.
please. Roger, Lisa, and Ben to the podium, please.
I didn't want to get it.